The country was desolate, the heat intolerable, and yet the enemy clung to every rise of ground. British officer from the Mesopotamian Expeditionary Force Diary, June 1960. Welcome to Things You Should Know, the Great War Edition. From the thunder of the Brusilov guns at Lutsk, we now shift south to the scorched plains of Mesopotamia, where on June 4th, 1916, the Battle of Khanaqin played out in the aftermath of Britain's defeat at Kut. After the surrender of Townshend's garrison on the Tigris, the British Empire's campaign in Mesopotamia stood on the edge of collapse. Determined to regain momentum, General George Gorringe, commanding the Tigris Corps, ordered a limited advance to secure the approaches to Persia. His column, composed of elements of the 7th Meru and 12th Indian Divisions, along with cavalry from the 6th Indian Cavalry Brigade, advanced northeast along the Diyala River towards the border town of Khanaqin. There, they met Ottoman and Kurdish forces holding the surrounding ridges, supported by detachments from Halil Pasha's Sixth Army. Under a blistering sun, the British Indian units pressed forward through dry wadis and stony hills. The 125th Napier's Rifles and the 56th Punjabi Regiment led the assault, storming trench lines and stone sangars under the rifle and machine gun fire of the Ottomans. By midday, Ottoman resistance began to crumble. The defenders, weakened by the heat and shortened ammunition, fell back towards Kazil Rabat. When the dust settled, Khanaqin was in British hands, a small but symbolic victory for an army desperate to recover from humiliation. The winner today is the British Expeditionary Force. The engagement was minor in scale but crucial in spirit, proof that the British in Mesopotamia could still fight, advance, and win. Casualties and other costs of the battle. The fighting at Khanaqin was swift but punishing. The British Indian column suffered roughly 600 casualties, including about 120 killed, 350 wounded, and 130 missing or captured. Many more collapsed from heat exhaustion and dehydration as temperatures soared above 45 degrees centigrade or 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Diaries describe men struggling to breathe in the dust, horses dying in their tracks, and medics pouring the last of the water over the wounded instead of drinking it. The Ottoman defenders endured heavier losses, estimated at around 1,200, roughly 300 killed, 700 wounded, and 200 taken prisoner. Reports from captured soldiers spoke of the same misery: no shade, no water, and men forced to fight from shallow rock cover against well-aimed rifle fire. The desert, as much of the enemy, was claiming its toll. Strategic outcome: the impact of the battle. Far from the Western Front's trenches, the Battle of Khanaqin carried important consequences. It stabilized Britain's position in the Persian frontier, and after the catastrophe of Kut, secured a key crossroads between Mesopotamia and Persia. It also restored confidence among exhausted troops. For the Ottomans, it was another strain on an already overextended front. Their forces still holding Kut and the lower Tigris were now forced to defend a new sector hundreds of miles away. Khanaqin did not change the war, but it marked a turning point of the tide of the East. From this small victory, Britain rebuilt its strength, paving the way for the advance that would reach Baghdad less than a year later. Join us again next time on Things You Should Know, the Great War Edition.